All right, folks. I just got back from good old Vegas. Watched Army of the Dead. Let's talk about it. Firstly, glasses come off because I can barely see. Toothpick stays though. You're welcome. Folks, I have mixed relations with the zombie genre. You know, I'm not a fan of the TV show Walking Dead. I've seen a few episodes, and by that I mean part of episode 1. But I love zombies in general. I love the genre. I think it's a very fascinating concept to dive into, and I think it so often gets screwed up. I've read a lot of the Walking Dead comics. I like them. I think they're great. The Walking Dead games on Telltale are great. Further than The Walking Dead, I'm trying to think, but of course, I mean, zombies are a staple in American culture, really, in film culture, in media, and they're really fascinating things that so often get screwed up, and I had high hopes for this one. I did. I thought it was a unique idea, but sort of let me down. Another reason was because, you know, this was Snyder's second film. He's a director that I haven't been too fond of in the past, but with Zack Snyder's Justice League, I wasn't sure if we were making an uptick a little bit, because I did like that one, actually, quite a bit. My review of that should be up there if you want to check that out. But, you know, seems we're back to old trends. There's a very clear style within this one, and it's Snyder's style. I mean, unmistakable, really. But there's some surprising humor in here that I didn't really expect it. Some of it, I'll talk about the humor later. You know, some of it landed, some of it didn't. But then also you have the typical dark, brooding landscape. Zack Snyder's typical style. And then it sets up a very interesting premise. I feel like I've seen it before, but I'm not sure if I have. But, you know, Vegas in particular being walled off and abandoned and sort of nuked. I feel like we've definitely gotten plot lines similar to that. But, you know, it is a nice, for an otherwise relatively simple movie, you know, it is really just a heist. That's a nice premise to go in with. Folks, some of the dialogue is pretty bad and corny, and, I mean, yeah, and going back to the jokes, really, not all of them land. But there are also, well, no, not really. Most of the dialogue is either standard or left a lot to be desired. There are lots of unknown actors. Really, the only actor I think I knew at all was Dave Bautista, and of course, I would have known Chris D'Elia and before he was, you know, let go because of the allegations. But it sort of creates a disconnected experience. You know, you're not watching these for the actors. What the hell is that? You're watching these for the characters. Dave Bautista is good in the role, but again, it doesn't really seem to be a particularly demanding character, except for a few emotional scenes, which, you know, done well. Everyone else is a pretty stereotypical character. They each play a stereotype. The idea of a heist in a zombie apocalypse is original. It's unique. It's even clever, maybe. But both how the heist is executed as well as the zombie apocalypse, neither of which are original. You've seen them before. You've seen them done better. The mixing them, unique as far as I can tell. But it's only as good as the sum of its parts, and both parts have been played out, done before, done better. Along those lines, the only thing really distinct here is Snyder's style, which, of course, you know, a positive for many. I'm not denying that, but for me personally, most of the time, it doesn't land. It doesn't work. It's too edgy, it's too gritty, and I just don't enjoy it. As I was going to say, you know, the comedy, there's some more subtle jokes in here, maybe even commentaries, I would say, that do land better. They're snuck in a little bit, and they are funnier. But the outright jokes, the one-liners, are corny, bad. This is a personal gripe, but I mentioned zombies. So much potential. I've toyed with the idea, you know, I have, of course, EDPC Productions, my other channel, if you haven't seen that, and I've toyed with the idea of making zombie things before. I have a few scripts, outlines, you know, I find them really fascinating. I find them to be great things. And Zack Snyder likes to, nothing wrong with this, Zack Snyder likes to alter things, right? He likes to play with them. He did it in Batman vs. Superman. He did it with Batman. A lot of criticism there. I disagree with a lot of people. I think that it is fine to alter a character or story. There's nothing wrong with that. Alter James Bond if you want. Alter Superman if you want. Make them whatever. But you have to be able to justify it. Is there a reason? If so, what is the reason? With Batman, many people would argue that not killing is integral to his character. If Zack disagrees, because again, we all experience things in different ways, we all have different perceptions of things, if he disagrees, then he needs to explain why. Batman can't just come out and start killing. It's not enough to say whatever, he was depressed, he lost Robin. That's not enough, in my personal opinion. I don't think he justified Batman being able to kill, and I don't think he justifies zombies being smart. It ticks me off. It bothers me. I've seen it before. This isn't the only one. But zombies being smart goes against everything I don't know about characters, but everything they are about. Zombies have to be dumb. Typically, they have to be slow. There are some exceptions where you can have, if you have multiple kinds of zombies, fast ones and whatnot. But, I mean, there's a scene in this film where a zombie fist fights another dude. They form a tribe. I did not feel it was justified. I think it takes away from the character, to be honest with you. I don't think it adds more nuance. I think the idea of zombies forces you to be creative. You need to put your characters in interesting scenarios with them. Making them intelligent in any form ruins that idea. You know, zombies are no longer interesting when you do that. And of course, they are the main antagonist, the main catalyst of this film. And I don't think, once again, they're justified in being the way that they are here. One last compliment, I meant to say, but you know, it is both, I suppose. The visual effects are pretty top notch. You know, the desecrated Vegas looks top tier. I mean, very well done. I'm not sure the budget of this film, but it was obviously high. Netflix obviously dumped a lot into it, and I think, you know, a lot of people like this one, so maybe it paid off, but unfortunately, I didn't. And then at the end, you get some setup for future installments. And, you know, if they're like this one, if they're basically the same thing except the sequel, I probably won't check it out. Unfortunately, I didn't have a good enough time to be able to watch a sequel and invest time in it, especially at 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's absurd. I mean, this film really pushed it. And I was frankly bored at points. Yeah, unfortunate. If they switch it up maybe a little bit, I'd be down, you know, but I doubt they will, because, I mean, why would they? They've got a winning formula with many people, not me. Folks, it seems like Zack Snyder had a blast making this. My opinion on the person has changed, certainly, as I learn more and more about him. He seems to be a very nice guy. He seems to be a guy who just wants to make the movies he likes to make, which obviously have an audience. They're just really not me most of the time. And so I respect that. I respect the film. You know, it's not a horrible film by any means. It just didn't appeal to me. I didn't have fun. I think that's what he was trying to go for. He obviously had fun. I'm sure everyone on set had fun. It's supposed to be a fun romp. I did not get that feeling, unfortunately, folks. I go back and forth between a C and a D. Last minute decision. I don't know if I feel strongly enough about it yet to give it a D. I always reserve the right to change it. But for now, folks, Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead will get a C. Alright, folks, so that's Army of the Dead, folks. If you liked it, you know, you probably did. A lot of people liked it. Let me know down below why you liked it, why my opinion is wrong, why my opinion is bad. If you disagree with me about zombies in particular, obviously, that's something I'm very passionate about because, you know, I spoke about it for a while. If you disagree with me about that, let me know. If you think he did justify his use of it, let me know, folks. I've been needing PC reviews from Vegas. Let me pull out my chips again. If you subscribe, I'll give you some of these. I mean, they have no value there. You can find them Target, anywhere really, but I will give you some chips. Maybe metaphorically, not really, because I'm not going to, ship them out to you? Are you crazy? No, I'm not going to do that. If you ever see me and I have chips, two things. You have to check both boxes. If you see me, check. If I have chips when you see me, check. I'll give you at least one. How about that? That sounds like a deal. Only if you subscribed. You got to prove it to me, folks. I have been EDPC Reviews. You have been amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.